would pick at the strategic result areas and state where they will be operating on and how they are going to operate on. And then it will also go down to the individual level. At the directorate level, you identify people to work on the sub-activities of the result areas. And eventually you have individual working on activities that are focused on our policy outcomes, our policy objectives. That's basically what we are doing, trying to make sure that people's functions on a daily basis are responding to our strategic result areas, in effect, answering to our policy objectives. So that is one of the things, and then the role of the Human Resource Directorate is to make sure that this is coordinated. We make sure that when it is time for planning, people are planning. We do all the correspondence, the networking and communication to make sure that they come and plan. We also make sure that when it's time for implementation, people are written to make sure that they should start implementing their plans. And then they would sign service level agreements with their personnel so that people are responsible for what they are doing. You are not just given an assignment, but you sign up to taking up that responsibility. So it's sort of ownership because people would participate in all these things to make sure that it happens. From when they implement, we have what we call our monitoring systems that will help us to gauge. Because I said you set objectives, you manage performance against objective, and then you measure performance against those objectives. So you can see that our monitoring system will tell us how much we are attaining against what we set ourselves. Then we have the reviews at a regular basis. The directors will be assigned to come to the permanent secretary to review, to see how much they've achieved, what are their problems, because it's all about it's developmental. To see what are their problems, how do we solve them. So you can see that it's more to develop the system, and you can see that performance management is not only about people. It's about developing people, developing the processes that they are operating on, and the systems that they are also operating in. So you can see that all these three facets are sort of like gears in a watch. Like people are one of the set of gears, processes are other set of gears, and the systems that they are operating at. If one fails, the watch would fail. In the same vein, if people are failing, the processes will fail, the system will fail. If we are not having the right processes, people will not operate, therefore the system will. If you don't have the right systems in place, the others will fail. So eventually, it's sort of a gear sort of that is synchronizing all these activities too.
So you mean the performance system is meant to maintain the performance or to boost the performance of the people, the system, and what's the third one?
And the processes.
And the processes. So, and you did mention that before the establishment of this system, you observed some lapses. Understand? So, what are some of the impacts of the system now, against those lapses today?
Like one is like initially you have people can arbitrarily assign people whatever, whether they have the competency or not. You can just choose to say, I have an assignment. Lamin do it. Keba do it, whether Keba has the assignment. You don't have the right teams. You cannot set the right teams. That is one of the things that it addresses. Secondly, when we started it, even it was even the World Bank and the donors all observed that our output in terms of results, meeting our results, is effective. We are able to attain things that we set ourselves very quickly, and that even supports the idea, and then they even push that it must go into the school system. Last year, at the end of third term, we piloted it, and we happened to find that you can see the system, you can see what people are doing, people are learning good practices, are learned from here and there. And the second thing is like, it focuses people on what they should do. We all know our responsibilities as a sector, as individuals. So you focus on what you should do. It also, limits what we call work environment problems. Because people will not be competing for things because there is money in certain activity or not. This is the activity of an individual.
Okay.
And it also forces us to build the right teams. Because if you have an activity and then you need somebody that has the expertise, even where it is not in your directorate, it's in another directorate, you make sure that you get that individual to help you do that activity.
Okay.
So you can say the interpersonal relationships are also improved.
Okay.
And it also improves because we have what we call a learning organization.
Okay.
Must learn through interaction. You interact with people who have the skills, who has the knowledge and the expertise. Okay. And eventually you learn from them. So it encourages all those things in our system. It encourages learning in our system. Okay. And directors would know who to assign what, and the POs or the part of the principal education officers are the managers of programs. Okay. They would also know where to tap the right people to help them to do this. So you can see that it has a lot of benefits for the sector. Okay.
Director, you cited teacher posting as one of the director's functions. Yeah. Could you tell us why teacher posting is necessary?
Okay. Let me see. I think teacher posting is very, very necessary because one thing that it does is help us to proportionately distribute teachers to various regions. Okay. You'll find out that a particular region will need more teachers than the other. Okay. So it is these teacher postings that help us to be able to distribute them accordingly. Okay. Because at the end of the day, what happens is we receive information or data from the various regions as to their requirements. Okay. So we also try to use that to distribute teachers accordingly. Okay. The other thing that postings will do is it helps us in accountability. Okay. Like for example, in our national posting exercises, we have every regional director have to account for the staff that have been working under them. Okay. So it helps us to know who is where, who has left, and etc. etc. So it helps us a lot to be able to account for our staff. Previously, that was what's happening. But now today, almost every regional director is able to account for his or her staff. The other thing about posting which is important is that it exposes our teachers. Okay. Like for example, I am here in the Combos, but if you post me to Kerawan, for example, I am able to get first-hand information or first-hand experience as to the challenges that are faced by teachers in those areas. Exactly. So you find out when you move them like that, at the end of in time, you'll find they have got a lot of experience. Particularly when the time comes for them to take to be in positions where they will have to deliver, make decisions, they will be able to decide better because they will have been there themselves and will have got experience, first-hand experience of the challenges that are taking place in those particular areas. Okay. The other thing which is important about postings is the fact that it helps the teachers themselves to be able to, like for example, in the regions, not only to distribute the teachers according to their needs, but also to distribute it according to their specialization areas. For example, in upper basic schools, you may need more math teachers than English language teachers, or science teachers than mathematics teachers. Exactly. So these postings actually help us a lot in trying to distribute our teachers accordingly. So I think without posting, definitely we're going to have you'll have a lot of challenges because we'll end up having one region which is overstaffed and another region understaffed. So those are some of the importance of posting. But we do have challenges as well. The challenges that we have about posting is that some teachers may not want to go up country. Okay, for many reasons. Okay. For health reasons, because sometimes you post somebody to say, I'm sick, I cannot go, and then sometimes they come with a lot of medical paper. Okay. And we as teachers, we cannot say what you are saying is untrue. If a doctor writes that to you and says you are sick, it's going to be it's not going to be good for us to post you at a region where you don't have those facilities.
So in that case, what's your plea to the medical practitioners?
Well, we want to encourage them to be helping us to get authentic. Let them look at it objectively and give us what they want. Otherwise, if the whole nation here is a system, Okay. If education fails, health will also fail. Will